Patty, thanks so much. You are just such a joy to work with for so many years as executive director, and it's a privilege to be with you, of course, for everybody.
Thank you.
So, anyway, I've spent my career just about everywhere across at least 90 countries, not to mention 5 books. But today I like to be known as the creator of Andelman Unleashed on Substack. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, what we're all about, where we came from, and what we're hoping to be going to. And I hope each of our fellow panelists will then follow and provide the same elucidation. Anyway, I began Andelman Unleashed about 3 years ago. And I began by chronicling the extraordinary election campaign that Emmanuel Macron was waging in France. Then I decided, hey, France is not the only country with critical historic elections. So now we chronicle every national election in every country every year. Today, though, we branched out even further. So I monitor the media on every continent as well, how they're viewing America and themselves and their neighbors also. I live in this whole smorgasbord from time to time with excerpts from my memoir in progress. Don't Shoot, I'm an American Reporter. It's a long story about how I got that title. And our audience, we built our audience from 2 people, myself and my wife Pamela Title, also my editor, to more than 5,700 in every state and 123 countries. Now, the goal is to monetize it. And trust me, that's an even harder slog. But I have to tell you, the quality of readers I've acquired and how appreciative so many are is even more gratifying than any centimes they might drop on me for everything from our cartoon portfolio, Friday Zoomversation, and an inscribed copy of my latest book. But it's also wonderful when I hear from, high school classmates of mine I haven't seen in 60 years. It's really fabulous. The people that I meet and the individuals who reach out to me. So, what have I learned about Substack building a site and building an audience? Well, first, it's best to have a few simple, direct themes or ideas. In fact, really a single one if you can. I find I lose more subscribers, yep, even the free ones. Substack calls it disabling me, which I find really disturbing, but you've got to be pretty thick skinned about it. Anyway, I find I lose more when I deviate from our core mission. So when I publish a memoir excerpt, or I've done a couple of Unleashed Cuisines cooking episodes, I lose a bunch. But then again, I also pick up some. Anyway, excuse me. Each Sunday when I publish The World This Week, I lose an average of 6 readers. But generally, I pick up at least 8 to 10, so I'm a net gainer. So this is what folks look for. And I get any number of likes and comments which really do compensate for any of the disables. Incidentally, I often email my disables, and that's a tip you should know about, and ask, well, I don't grovel or weep, but close to that, to come back, please come back, and tell them what they're missing. And I have regained some that way. Some have been very appreciative, in fact, of my reaching out to them. So back to creation. I also find that the design really helps. I mean, some get by with just all text. There's one who has over 1 million paid subscribers. 1 million paid, you can imagine, $5 million a year. But it's almost all text. In fact, it is all text and footnotes. Quite honestly, I just don't read it very much. So I break up my Substack with photos, charts, graphs, even cartoons from all over the globe. What I decided I wanted to create something I love to read. And if I love to read it, then an audience will come. And it has, slowly, but it has. Lately, Substack itself has been branching out into other production formats or enhancements. So now it's quite easy to upload audio or video to spice up your pages or create pages of their own, and I've done that. You can also create on or off-site features just for your paid subs. So I created Unleashed Conversation every Friday on Zoom. I have a celebrity guest of some variety from somewhere in the world, and we spend an hour talking. Each week I have subscribers across as many as 9 time zones, and we have most lively and intelligent conversations. And you can offer enhancements. Every annual subscriber also gets a signed copy of my latest book for free. If they renew, they can get a signed copy of any of my 3 previous books. And I'm always looking for new enhancements. So if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. And the great thing about Substack is that it's a community also. It's also its greatest weakness. I get the vast bulk of my subscriptions from subscribers to other Substackers who notice that I've been recommended by them. So I do cross-endorse and encourage others to do that. When I say it's also the biggest weakness, that comes from the top. I find Substack's management, and this is entirely between us, so don't tell anybody about it. I find that management really does not pay very much attention to anyone who doesn't have a substantial and rapidly growing paid audience. At the same time, if you're not a star and can bring with you a substantial audience through X or LinkedIn or Facebook or from CNN or NBC or wherever you're coming from, they don't help by even a mention of yourself to any of the others. Anyway, incidentally, even a mention by a big name can be amazing. Early on, I got one passing mention in a footnote from one big name, and over that weekend, I got more than 900 new subscribers. For a while, I was getting about one every few seconds. Then it was back to normal. At the same time, you should be sure to put your Substack link out everywhere. It's in the signature of my emails, it's on the back of my business card. I put a QR code there that takes folks directly to my sign up page. And you wouldn't believe how many subscribers I've gotten just from folks who just do that on the spot. Click, and they've signed on. Um, have no shame. I mean, this is the thing to do. You must have no shame in promoting yourself. So clearly, too, anytime you write anywhere, appear on radio or television, be sure to feature your Substack. But don't count on one such appearance as a magic bullet. At the most, I'd get maybe a half dozen new free subs from an appearance like that on, say, Sirius or even CNN television or whatever. But above all, mainly it's a case of reach and consistency. Also, my personal suggestion is don't bombard folks. The biggest complaint for those who disable me, from the very few of those who ask why in reply, is that they're just getting too much clutter in their mailboxes and they don't have the bandwidth to read, which is why at the top of each edition I write this line. To emphasize, we cover lots of ground, so you may not want to read it all, but it's all there for you.